and we're here. We're ready to get this show on the road. If it's one thing I want to really do, and that is to be respectful of your time. I'm looking at people coming in the door. For those of you who do not know, my name is Linda Bell Robinson. I am the newly elected, 7 months now, Congressional District 18 chairperson. They were all paid to do that. Before we actually call the meeting to order, I'm going to ask
Well, good evening. I am Alexander Johnson. I have the privilege of serving as the executive pastor here at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. And praise the Lord. On behalf of our senior pastor, Dr. Marcus Cosby, who would be here had he not been out of town, and in the entirety of the Wheeler Avenue congregation, welcome to our campus. We're delighted to host you all this evening, and we're excited to help in continuing the legacy of our beloved Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And so we are, amen. So we are honored to be a part of this, even by hosting. I've been asked to share in a brief word of prayer, so let's bow, if you will. God, this evening we are grateful for the opportunity that is ours to be in this place, to be about the work of ensuring that the least of these within our communities, within our families, are continued to be looked after. It's a consequence of who shall be next congressperson from the 18th District. We pray that you would be in the midst of these deliberations, these conversations, so that ultimately, even through this, you would be glorified and that your people would be edified. All of your people is our prayer, and we thank you for it. Amen.
I hereby call this meeting of the Democratic Congressional District 18 District Executive Committee, that's y'all. I call this meeting to order. And the first order of business, I hereby announce Courtney Richards, duly elected Secretary of the CD18 District Executive Committee, will serve as our Secretary of this meeting. She will take notes and minutes and otherwise perform the duties of a secretary of this meeting. Does anyone have any objection to Courtney Richards serving as secretary? Hearing none, Courtney Richards will serve as secretary of this meeting. I now call Smokey Phillips, our party's nominee for and next constable for the precinct in which we are holding this meeting, Precinct 7, succeeding the marvelous May Walker, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag and the Texas flag.
Shall we say, I pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Shall we recite now the Texas pledge? Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one side under God and one indivisible. Thank you so much.
I want to thank Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church for allowing us to come. Isn't this a beautiful, beautiful facility? Now we will have the national anthem sung by Miss Zandy. Would you stand, please?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Zandy. As everyone knows, we are here this afternoon to select a Democratic nominee to replace congressional member Sheila Jackson Lee on the ballot. No one, we all know this, that is an impossible task. Those were some huge shoes to fill. But we're here this evening to do our best to replace her with a qualified candidate. This has been an extremely learning experience for all of us. Sheila was an irreplaceable person. But we can do that. We can do that this evening in good and decent order. And with that, I'd like to bring our special guest tonight, Ms. Erica Lee Carter, daughter of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, to speak.
Thank you so much. I know those are from my mother, and I thank you. Thank you, Chair Mike Doyle, leader of our Harris County Democratic Party, Chairwoman Linda Bell Robinson, the entire executive committee, and some of her favorite people, any and all precinct chairs, whether you're District 18 or not. She loved her chairs, and you loved her back, so thank you. This is just a tribute to my mother, your Congresswoman, my entire life, as when she was served. She had a journey, and a lot of times she didn't talk about that early journey, but she grew up in poverty. Mother never finished high school. Her father never went to high school. Extreme segregation. You know, they were working people. They did what they could. At times, 2 families moved in with 1 house. But she knew she also had opportunity that they didn't have. You know, she faced sexism, she faced racism, and some other isms that many of you have faced. But by a chink in the chain, when the sad event of Dr. King's assassination occurred, she got an opportunity to go to a college that she wouldn't have had a chance had it not been for a scholarship named in his honor. And that changed her life's trajectory to where you saw her rise today. And so when she used to say that poem, "Life for me ain't been no crystal stairs," she lived that. She believed that she would just keep climbing. And it was her goal to help other people climb, which is what we as Democrats do. We want to help each and every person climb and reach their full potential. When she lost 3 times for judge, countywide, she kept climbing and was eventually appointed municipal court judge, thanks to great leaders. And when she served as judge, she said, "Let me climb and become the first Black woman to win at large for Houston City Council." Position 4, which carries on that historic tradition to this day. In 2010, when Harris County got wiped out, I would say countywide, it was not a good year nationally, not a good year locally, and I was helping the party. She didn't give up. She got back to work. We elected Obama in 2012 for his 2nd term, and she defeated breast cancer in 2012 as well. When she got knocked down, she stood back up, and as Democrats, that's what we do. We stand up for people. We stand up for each other. She taught me that it's possible to have power, but still care for people. And that's why I've been so enriched when you show me your pictures. She's at a graduation, a family member's birthday party, or even at a remembrance or funeral. Because that's where the people were, that's where she showed she cared, that's where she could hear your stories and carry them back to the people in power and say, this is what we're fighting for, this is who we're fighting for, and this is why it has to be done this way. So as I close, I hope that there's no place she would rather be than voting. So thank you. She loved voting. She always stood up for it, fought for it, believed in it. So thank you all who are here to vote. Her grandchildren, they're only 9 years old, and so they didn't get to live all this journey. So going forward, as you see them or other children, just tell her story, which is an American story, that they can do the same thing, that they can climb those stairs, whether they have tacks or whether they're crystal, and live the American dream that we as Democrats believe in. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Erica, so much for that grand reminder of your dynamic mother, a fearless leader. Y'all know I'm going to probably put a rubber band on this. Now, getting to some of the important things, I would like to share with you that now to advise me so that I stay on task and that I make any ruling, and in any rulings that I make or call upon to be made in these proceedings, the chair has appointed Jill Moffitt, our famous parliamentarian of Congressional District 9, as parliamentarian for this meeting. And to assist me in maintaining order during this meeting, I have asked Tony Middleton Lewis, Charles Cave, Tony Bryan, Tony Williams, James Darville, and Gerald Sheila to serve as sergeants at arms and doorkeepers. Their job will be to maintain order and decorum to prevent non-precinct chairs from entering the area reserved for precinct chairs. The sergeants at arms will be here to assist, if necessary, the deputy constables from Precinct 7 in maintaining order. We are asking you tonight to allow us to do this in good and decent order. I will say that a number of times tonight. It's very important that we do that. Does any precinct chair have any objection to any of those persons serving in those capacities during this district executive committee? Hearing none, such appointments are deemed to have been approved by this committee, and Tony Middleton Lewis, Charles Cave, Tony Bryant, Tony Williams, James Darville, and Gerald Sheila will serve as sergeants at arms and doorkeepers during this meeting. The next order of business is to verify that all persons who signed in as CD18 precinct chairs are in fact current precinct chairs, residents in the territory of the precinct for which they were elected, and within the boundaries of the 18th Congressional District, a qualified and registered voter in Harris County. Not a candidate, I'm sorry, I skipped something. Not a candidate or a nominee or a holder of any federal, state, or county government office at this time, and otherwise not ineligible to vote in this meeting. I therefore ask if there are any challenges to the right of any person who signed in as a CD18 precinct chair to participate in this meeting as a voting member of this executive committee. Hearing none, so the sign-in sheet is hereby certified as the list of persons entitled to vote in this Congressional District 18 Executive Committee meeting to the extent they are here in person, have signed in, have been authenticated during the credentialing process as evidenced by their signature or the I'm gonna mess that up. By the person who signed them in on the sign-in sheet. Jerry wrote that big word. Now, before proceeding further, I want to go over the rules of the room, the decorum here in this room, which will govern these proceedings. The meeting is a solemn proceeding to select a nominee for the Democratic Party Congressional District 18 seat. This is not for play, guys. This is real. We're sending somebody to Washington, D.C. to represent us there. This is for real. It is not a rally or an event to whip up passions or enthusiasm. That will come later, after we have selected a candidate. But tonight is about doing the business of selecting a nominee to appear on the November ballot. So I want visitors in the public area of this assembly to think of themselves as if they were attending a session of the U.S. House of Representatives as observers, sitting in the gallery, and comport yourselves accordingly, so be on your best behavior. You may briefly express your approval of a candidate's speech by applause only. At the end of the candidate's presentation, but not during the speech. At the end of the presentation, you may applaud, no stomping, no booing, or none of that. None of that. Please don't do that. Members of the public may not do that cheering and all of that. The prohibition of outbursts or expressions or support of a candidate, we ask you not to do that. I guess what we're saying is, let's do this in good and decent order. be on your best behavior. Do I have any objections to that? Hearing none. We have a whole lot of police here. Did y'all see them when you come in? They've been given the order. So that's all I'm going to say on that. That's all I'm going to say on that. With this admonishment, with all of these admonishments, the chair now calls for what you all been waiting for, nominations of individuals to be nominated, for individuals to be the nominee of the Democratic Party for the office of the United States Representative, District number 18. On November the 5th, 2024, the general election ballot, in place and instead of the Honorable Sheila Jackson Lee, who, through duly elected to be the nominee of the Democratic Party for that position, died on July the 19th, 2024, and so whose name must be omitted from the ballot pursuant to Texas Election Code Section 145.035. The only requirements for service in the United States House of Representatives are those contained in Article 1, Section 2, Clause 2 of the Constitution of the United States, which reads as follows: no person shall be a representative who shall not have attained to the age of 25 years and been 7 years as a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state from which he shall be chosen. It is unclear whether that means a candidate must have been born before January the 3rd, 2000, in order to appear on the ballot as a candidate for the 119th Congress, which begins on January the 3rd, 2025, or to be elected to that position. But it is clear that they cannot be sworn in or begin serving until they attain the age of 25. There is one case in which someone who had been elected to Congress had not attained the age of 25 by the day Congress members were sworn in. In that case, the underage member-elect was not enrolled by the clerk and did not take the oath until he reached the required age. Therefore, is another case in which someone was elected to the House but could not be sworn in or begin serving his term in office until 6 months after the congressional session began because he was not a citizen of the United States for 7 years until then. These two precedents suggest that one may appear on the ballot and be elected even though they not be eligible to serve on that day in Congress to which they have been elected to convene. In that case, they are not sworn in or begin serving until they became constitutionally eligible to serve. The view appears to be echoed by the website of the Texas Secretary of State, which, when identifying the qualification for seeking the office of United States Representative, notes that the minimum age and U.S. citizenship requirements must exist at the time the oath of office is administered. The Secretary of State website then refers to volume 79 of the 1935 Congressional Record at pages 9,651 to 9,653 in support of that proposition. Nominations for this position can be made only. Nominations for this position, Congressional District 18, can only be made by a member of Congressional District 18 Executive Committee. That is a current serving precinct chair who currently resides within the territorial boundaries of the precinct of which that person is serving as the precinct chair, which precinct must be within the territorial boundaries of the 18th Congressional District of Texas. They cannot be made by persons who are not current 18th Congressional District precinct chairs. Since the nomination is not for an officer of this executive committee, but for a position on the ballot in November, there must be a second. There must be a second to any nomination made by a member of the committee. The person making a nomination shall first seek recognition from the chair, and once recognized, not before, state his or her full name, the precinct number of which he or she is the precinct chair, and the name of the nominee with no other statement or comment. For example, Debbie Democrat, Precinct 730, Madam Chair, I nominate Marvelous Marvin, period. Sit down. That's it, nothing else. Precinct chairs wishing to second a nomination shall first seek recognition from the chair. And once recognized, not before, provide his or her name and precinct number and say the words, I second the nomination of Debbie Democrat. Only those words, nothing more, then sit down. Do not speak or make a nomination or a second until you have been recognized by the chair to do so. After raising your hand, this is real important. Do not make any speeches or comments about the candidate you are nominating or seconding. If you do, time will be deducted from your candidate's time when they get up to address the chair. So with all of that said, it's a little warm in here. If you have a chair that's open next to you, kind of raise your hand. We have a lot of people standing here in the doorway. The fire marshal won't come get us. Not in the precinct chair area. This is the solemn area. Everybody ready? No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. If you're going to make a nomination, if you'll make your way to the mic so everybody can hear you, because they won't be able to hear you from your chair. Nominations are now open. Are there any nominations are now open? It's not on.
You're substituting. Oh, you got it? Madam Chair, my name is Elisa Sheila, Precinct 0252. It is my honor to nominate Mayor Sylvester Turner.
Thank you. Is there? Oh, y'all forgot what I told you? Already. Already. No applause during the nominations. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, Joseph Carlos Madden, Precinct 450. I second the nomination of Mayor Sylvester Turner.
We have a motion that has been seconded. Is there another nomination?
Madam Chair, my name is Belinda Castro, Precinct 0043, and I'd like to nominate our state representative from CD 145, Christina Morales.
Is there a second?
Madam Chairman, I'm Michael Studdard, Precinct 20. I second the nomination of Christina Morales.
We have a nomination and a second for Christina Morales.
Madam Chair, my name is Huey German Wilson, Precinct number 0583. I would like to nominate Amanda Edwards.
Is there a second?
My name is Albert Vorman. I go by AJ, Precinct 323, and I second the nomination of Amanda Edwards.
We have a nomination and a second for Amanda Edwards. Is there another nomination?
My name is Amy Von Bokel. I'm in Precinct 367, and I nominate Letitia Plummer.
Is there a second?
Madam Chair, my name is Reginald Stewart, Precinct 468, and I second the nomination.
We have a nomination and a second for Letitia Plummer. Is there another nomination?
Lloyd Gaucher, Precinct 660. Madam Chair, I nominate Jarvis Johnson.
Is there a second?
Madam Chair, my name is LaTanya Whittington, Precinct 0550, and I second the nomination for Representative Jarvis Johnson.
We have a nomination and a second for Jarvis Johnson.
Madam Chair, my name is Julia Williams, Precinct 968, and I nominate Robert Slater.
Is there a second?
Danielle Burrell, 0593, and I second that.
We have a nomination and a second for Robert Slater. I had to refer to my legal advisor here. Are there any additional nominations? Are there any additional nominations? Hearing none, are there any additional nominations? Hearing none, I will accept a motion to close the nomination. I'm sorry, I don't need a motion. Nominations are closed. We now have our nominees. You can applaud that. Are there any challenges to any of the nominations that have been presented. Eligibility of those candidates. Are there any challenges to the eligibility of any of the nominations? Are there any challenges to any eligibility, to the eligibility of any of the nominations? Hearing none, I have determined, after consultation with the Harris County Democratic Party officials who have been involved in the Executive Committee nominating meeting on numerous occasions, and CD18 precinct chairs, that the following process shall govern presentations to the committee by and on behalf of the candidates. Each nominee we're going to be able to write a book about this process. Okay. So back to what I was saying. After consulting with the advisors, the following process shall be governed. Presentations to the committee by and on behalf of the candidates. Each nominee will be permitted in alphabetical order by last name to address the members of the executive committee personally or through a surrogate for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We've heard, we've seen, we've listened. 3 minutes. I also want to note at this time that we have a quorum present of voting precinct chairs. I now call for a motion on my presentation, on my request to give each candidate 3 minutes. Do I have a motion? You're not recognized.
Madam Chair, Terrence Shanks, Precinct 0193. I move that
I can.
I move that the recommendation of the chair be adopted and each nominee be permitted in alphabetical order by last name to address the members of the executive committee personally or through a surrogate for 3 minutes, and that after all nominees have been given an opportunity to address the group in that manner, we proceed immediately to a vote.
Is there a second? Chair recognizes Elisa Sheila. Having been moved and second that the procedure just outlined, allowing each nominee to address the committee for 3 minutes, either personally or through a surrogate, and that following such presentations, the committee moves immediately to a vote. We move now to discussion on said motion. Is there any discussion on the motions? Is there any discussion on the motion? The chair recognizes A.J. Varman.
Madam Chair, who is going to be the timekeeper on this?
We have 2 timekeepers, and I will announce them. Hearing none, other than AJ, I will identify Justin Miles and Nicholas. I'm going to say Nicholas R. because I didn't practice his name a whole lot today. But we have 2 timekeepers down front who will keep the time and notify the candidates. Once you see the stop sign, please stop talking. Do I have a voice vote on the motion? I call for a voice vote on the motion. All in favor say aye, all opposed say nay. Aye. It sounds like the motion carries. Yes, Belinda. The chair recognizes Belinda Castro. What purpose are you coming for?
I am just asking a question to the quorum. Can we get the number of people, of precinct chairs in CD 18 and how many are checked in, please?
I couldn't understand.
How many checked in when you say we have quorum? Can we get that number?
Well, we can look. A quorum count. We missing 1, 2, 3, 44, that's 41. 1, 2, and no. So, one over there. Oh, I forgot about Ruth. Ruth is over here in the corner. She has some little issues going, so she chose to sit in the corner over here.
There's 39 over here. There's 39 on this side.
How many on this side? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
39 on that side.
Yes, sir.
That'd be a total of 78.
Yep. 79, 79. So do I just tell her we have 80? So do I tell her we have a quorum of 80?
She wanted to know the number.
So in response to the question on the floor, the number of precinct chairs present, we have 80. Mm-hmm, 87. And we did have 2 to call in sick. I need the list now, right? Yes. Should I do that now? We're now going to call the candidates to the podium in alphabetical order. Again, they will speak to you for 3 minutes. We ask for no outbursts. We ask for no stomping, no cheering, none of that. When they finish their speech, you're welcome to applaud them. Let's do it in good and decent order. Again. The chair now recognizes Amanda Edwards to address the members of the executive committee for a total of 3 minutes. Let's test the mic.
Test it. This doesn't count against me, does it? Okay,
No.
test 1, 2. It's good.
You ready? So when he drops his hand, you start.
Good evening.
My name is Amanda Edwards, and I'm one of your former at-large Houston City Council members, but I stand here before you this evening because I am running to be the next Congresswoman for the 18th Congressional District. And the reason that I'm running is simple. I believe our community is, in fact, at a crossroads, and we've got one of two choices that we can make. We can either stay where we are, or we can choose to build upon where we are, build upon the Congresswoman's legacy in a way that is bold, innovative, and creates a community where every single person in it, no matter what your background, no matter where you live in the district, has the opportunity not just to get by in our community, but our purpose needs to be to thrive in this community. And I was born and raised in this community. In fact, when I was growing up, my father fell ill and died from cancer. But what I learned from asking my dad questions in his journey was telling. I remember asking my father whether he was going to get the insurance to cover his life-saving treatments, and his responses to me. And I'll never forget what he would say when I say, well, what happens if they say no? And he said, well, we just have to figure something else out. And I knew then, and I know now, that was not the right answer. And that the right answer has to be that we have systems that actually work for people, because real lives lie in the balance of the decisions that we make and choose not to make in government. That is why I'm running, and I bring that passion to the table to address issues around infrastructure, housing, healthcare, economic opportunity, and fighting for our rights. But in addition to that, I bring experience. 20 years ago, I actually got my start in Congresswoman Jackson Lee's D.C. office. So I've been trained by the Congresswoman and know firsthand how Congress works. Separate, I spent quite a few years working at some of our larger firms and being a public finance attorney, where my job was to make sure we brought public funding to public projects, which is a key piece of serving in Congress. Separate, I also had the opportunity to serve as one of your at-large Houston City Council members. And it was in that role that I was able to roll up my sleeves after Harvey and go door to door to make sure our seniors weren't being left behind. It was in that role that I promoted equity for our small business owners of color and those owned by women, because it's not good enough just to be the most diverse community. We must be the most equitable community that we can be. Finally, it was in that role where I led the efforts for startups to help build an innovation economy. We need a leader who will build on the promise of today, but also help pass the baton toward the future. Thank you very much.
Chris. Christina, we're doing it by last name. The chair now recognizes Jarvis Johnson.
Good evening. I am, hand up, hand down. I am State Representative Jarvis Johnson and former City Council member for District B. Let me first start off by thanking all of the precinct judges that are here today, because you have had to endeavor through one of probably the toughest tasks that you've ever had to go through, of picking the next nominee for the 18th Congressional District. I know it was a hard one. It led to voter intimidation. It led to, some of you saying, I don't even want to participate in this, but you saw it all the way through. And with over 243 precincts in the 18th Congressional District and only 88 seats filled, we must do a better job of making sure that all those positions are filled in order to make sure that we have right and adequate voter turnout. Voter turnout is the most important thing that we can do in order to turn Texas blue. I learned a long time ago that leaders are judged by their work and not their words. And as a former city council member and a state representative, I brought over $190 million, the largest appropriation that Texas Southern has ever gotten, I fought to bring $1 million to Booker T. Washington High School. Currently, I'm working with an underwater robotics program to bring manufacturing jobs here. I've worked on behalf of the Black United Fund of Texas to bring $20 million in EPA grant funding here to the city of Houston through the hard work of our late, great Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and certainly with the help of my mother, Cleo Glenn Johnson, who is the president of the Black United Fund of Texas, who also worked with the late Congressman Mickey Leland for 10 years. And that's where I learned about what it means, what Congress is, and how we certainly should operate. As your nominee, I want to bring a comprehensive plan to the 18th Congressional District, a plan that will encompass housing, economic development, environmental justice, criminal justice, but we must first have a roadmap. If you don't have a roadmap, then how do we go to Congress and demand that we deserve the money that we need? And then lastly, since being a state representative, I've increased voter turnout in District 139 by almost 41%. That's important, and that's key. Why? Because if we want to help Colin Allred defeat Republican Ted Cruz, and if we want to see Vice President Harris become the next president of the United States of America, we must get our people out to vote. But they will only come out if they see themselves in the picture and if they see a plan that they can put their hands on. That's how we will be successful. Judge me based on my work, not my words, as your nominee for the 18th Congressional District. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Christina Morales.
Wow, what a nerve-wracking day. Thank you so much, precinct chairs, for all you do. You are on the front lines of our democracy, and I know it's been a rough few days. You've been getting a lot of phone calls. My name is Christina Morales, State Representative for District 145. I was first elected in 2019, and in my short time in the legislature, I have watched how MAGA Republicans are growing in numbers in the state legislature. Texas has become this petri dish of these MAGA extreme ideas. Women don't have rights. Our democracy is at stake right now if Donald Trump gets elected. It is imperative that we do everything in our power to elect Kamala Harris and Colin Allred on November 5th. My promise to you, if I were to receive this prestigious nomination, is to do everything in my power to help you get out the vote. The reality is that Congressional District 18 has some of the lowest voter turnout rates. We must do more. And if you read my questionnaire, I have some plans already lined out to get people out to vote. I know that we can do this together. So I humbly ask for your support. Please vote for me, consider me, and I promise you will not be disappointed. Thank you so much.
The chair now recognizes Letitia Plummer.
Good afternoon. I am Councilmember Letitia Plummer, and I've had the honor of serving you as your at-large member for the City of Houston. This election process, what we're experiencing right now, is definitely about vision, but it's also about the record. What have you done in this community? How are you going to move forward on the amazing things our late Congresswoman did? Where have you been in this entire process? And how are you going to deliver? So this is my promise on day one. I will ensure that every single food desert is obliterated, addressing food insecurity and in all underserved communities. I will focus on the cancer cluster initiatives, making sure that funding is there and continuing to work with the Moonshot program. I will look at the EPA and making sure that the water that you drink and the air that you breathe is healthy, and hold all entities accountable for causing cancer in our Fifth Ward community. I will advocate for federal appropriations, working with appropriations to ensure that 2024 disasters are included in our funding. I will look at renters and their protections and hold landlords accountable, working directly with the DOJ and HUD. I will strengthen the railroad crossing penalties because many of our communities are devastated because they cannot get to work and our young people are dying or getting injured by crossing under railroad crossings. I will support police reform, working directly with the Justice and Civil Rights Committee. I will protect your civil rights, expanding protections to all groups, especially the LGBTQ plus communities. I will look at maternal mortality issues and ensure that every single person has access to health care. I will expand multimodal transportation, directly working with the Department of Transportation, educational equity, peace in the Middle East, and those are what I am working on right now in this district, and I will continue to listen to you, support you, and take your voices to Washington, D.C. I am Dr. Letitia Plummer, and I am humbly asking for your nomination for Congressional District 18. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Robert Slater.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thank you for having me. It's an honor. I have passion with a purpose. I remember when I first decided to run, so many said, don't do it. It's hard. Start here. Be a crossing guard. Be anything but Congress. And I chose District 18 because the constituency looked like me. I've been in prison. I've been homeless. I've been told no over and over again. I have a son that's been shot in 2019. He's paralyzed to this day. I have a mother that had to retire early because she couldn't afford to work no more, but yet she can't afford to pay her bills as now. So with the debt that's going on in this country, 10 years from now, my Social Security may not be there, neither will yours. I have to take care of my mother and my son and myself. That's scary. I am the only candidate that is running, the nominee, that chose District 18 first, regardless of who told me otherwise. I chose District 18 and I believed in it. Every time someone told me no, I continue. And I'm gonna continue on even after today, because whatever happens today is God's will. Let me also tell you what I would like to do. Veteran rights. I believe that our veterans belong more than a thank you for our service. I believe that they deserve more than just a weekend coming back home in the transition period. I also believe that they should be federally exempt from taxes. They have paid enough along with their family. I believe that women deserve more than when they're sexually assaulted to have an NDA because some powerful man wants to shut her up. I believe to crack in the workplace environment by making the assault on a woman a federal offense, a hate crime that supersedes all civil actions. I believe in health care. We've been talking about the same things over and over again. Elders that can't afford their health care drugs, they left with the bills. The supplemental government, the money they get from the government is just not enough. I believe in entrepreneurship. Houston has the largest LLCs for registrations, but yet we don't have the funding for it. I also believe that the decision you make today will put you in the history books. We are tired of block walking and door knocking. We could do more. Let's choose a nominee that the people see in themselves that inspires them to come out. Imagine turning Texas blue. Imagine giving the Texas to the country, to the people. Imagine not even a battleground state, but imagine being that transformational. You can do it right now. We have to inspire, but we have to be relatable with someone that's going to work on day one, that's going to put the power back into you. I'm not saying no. I've never said no, and I won't say no. I will hold your hand just like I did the Congresswoman when I suspended my campaign. Yeah, it was 3 people in this race. Thank you. It was 3. And I held her hand, and I talked to her, and I mentored her. And out of respect for her, I'm not name dropping or using it. It's forever private in my heart, but I'm going to see that it get done. Thank you for your time.
The chair now recognizes Sylvester Turner.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Turner.
I have had the privilege of serving the most diverse city in the United States of America, and it is highly diverse. But being diverse is not enough if we are not inclusive. Every neighborhood in the 18th Congressional District deserves to have a voice and deserves to be seen. As mayor, when it came to placing economic engines in different parts of the 18th of this city, we did that. TXRX in the East End, the Bethune Empowerment Center in the Northwest. We've addressed issues like the cancer cluster in Fifth Ward and brought Administrator Reagan from the EPA directly into the city of Houston. And I've made a kind of commitment from him to do even more. There's a lot at stake. What a congressperson does is bring as many resources into that congressional district as possible. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIP bill, those bills already exist, the dollars are flowing. The Congresswoman reauthorized the Violence Against Women Act. I want to pick up that ball and run with it. She reintroduced the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. I want to run with it. And at the same time, the Equality Act is still waiting. I want to work on that. Experience does matter. I'm not the youngest in this race. But let me just say this. When people's needs are not met, they want somebody to service their needs. For the last 17 years, I have put on Family Day in our city. It attracts 10,000 to 12,000 people a year, and we feed every last one of them. I raised the money for that at no cost to the people for 17 consecutive years. It's one thing to be a legislator, but the Congresswoman was also boots on the ground. And I want to be boots on the ground. We've got immigration issues. I want to be a champion for that. This is Texas, and this is Houston. And I want to assist people younger than I to be ready to assume the mantle. The commitment that I make, and there are a lot of candidates, I want to equip them, share my knowledge with them, not wait on them, but invite them to the table so that they are ready to lead from day one. And that's a role that people like me can play. I don't intend to be there forever, but this is a critical moment, and it demands experience and relationships right now. I would appreciate your support.
That felt good, didn't it? We proceed now to voting. The chair recognizes A.J. Vorman. Can you, what,
Okay, Madam Chair, this is AJ Vorman, Precinct 323, and there was a document passed around to the precinct chairs, and I wanted to ask the parliamentarian whether this was in order or out of order, or if this is okay.
You can ask.
Okay, I asked the chair to ask the parliamentarian.
He did. Yeah, generally, paperwork is not allowed at this point in the meeting. And we're going to ask you not to do this. We're going to also ask the precinct chairs if they would to turn their phones to silent or off so that you don't have to receive any text messages from the candidates or their campaign. Again, we're going to do this in good and right order. The chair recognizes Belinda Castro.
If we're going to turn off our phones, may then we get at the end a number count of the votes so we can turn on our phones and document it, please?
Yes. I think she asked if yeah, just put your phones on silent so you can't be bothered. Because they're going to be texting you while you're here to vote. We know that. How many of you got 10 texts today? Okay, no problem.
Remember when somebody seeks recognition, seek recognition, if they can change the form of voting, you don't have to recognize.
Okay. Good and decent order. Okay. Is there a representative from the church so we could probably get a little bit more air? A little bit more air. Okay, let's get back in order. We proceed now to voting on the nominees that we have. Pursuant to Article 6, Section B of the Rules of the Texas Democratic Party, to be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party, a candidate must receive a majority of the votes cast at this meeting. If no one receives a majority on the first vote, we will proceed to a runoff between the individuals receiving the highest and second highest of votes. The rules of the Texas Democratic Party provides that the chair of the meeting has the right to select the method of voting from among the 4 methods set forth in Article 3, Section B, subsection 5 of the Rules of the Texas Democratic Party. Secret ballots. Secret ballots are expressly prohibited by the rules of the Texas Democratic Party. In other words, no secret ballots. I therefore select as the method for casting ballots for this election a roll call vote. The persons nominated by members of the Executive Committee to be nominated of the Democratic Party for the office of United States Representative, District 18, on the November 5th, 2024 general election ballot in place of Sheila Jackson Lee: Amanda Edwards, Jarvis Johnson, Christina Morales, Letitia Plummer, Robert Slater, and Sylvester Turner. The chair has appointed 2 neutral and impartial individuals who reside outside of the 18th Congressional District and therefore have no stake in the outcome of this election. Carolyn Raleigh, Congressional District 7. Rod Jennings, Congressional District 38. These two voters, count voters, will assist the secretary in tallying the vote by each separately and independently recording the vote announced by each member of the committee when called upon to announce their vote, and to assist in the resultant poll of the members of the committee. The secretary of the committee will also record the vote of each member voting. The secretary, Courtney Richards, will now roll call. I'm sorry. The secretary will now call the roll call of members present and record their vote. When your name is called, please rise and announce your name of the person you are voting for. Nothing more, no speeches, no explanations, no remarks. Linda Robinson votes for XYZ. And I remind the members of the public, there are to be no expressions of approval or disapproval when a precinct chair announces their vote. You are to remain completely silent, and any violation of this rule will result in you being removed from the room. Pursuant to Rule 5, Section F of the Rules of the Texas Democratic Party, there may be no proxy voting at this district executive committee meeting. All precinct chairs must vote personally and in person. Madam Secretary, the roll call.
Brad Williams, Precinct 2. Mr. Williams votes for Amanda Edwards. Charles Kuffner, Precinct 3.
Amanda Edwards.
Mr. Kuffner votes for Amanda Edwards. Gretchen Myers, Precinct 4.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Myers votes for Turner. Gloria Moreno.
Amanda Edwards.
Precinct 9. Ms. Moreno votes for Edwards. Brandon Zarate, Precinct 16.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Mr. Zarate votes for Turner. Carolyn Henry, Precinct 19. Michael Studdard, Precinct 20.
Christina Morales.
Mr. Studdard votes for Morales. All right. Okay. Carolyn Henry, Precinct 19, is not present. Bruce Holloway, Precinct 21, he also is not present. Correction, Michael Holloway, Precinct 21, is not present. Kay Shepherd, Precinct 30.
My vote is for Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Shepherd votes for Turner. Talisha Gage, Precinct 42.
Good evening. My vote is for Dr. Letitia Plummer.
Ms. Gage votes for Plummer. Belinda Castro, Precinct 43.
Christina Morales.
Ms. Castro votes for Morales. Kimberly Satterwhite, Precinct 48.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Satterwhite votes for Turner. Noel McSherry, Precinct 53.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. McSherry votes for Edwards. Ruth Kravitz, Precinct 57.
Ruth Kravitz, 57. I vote for Dr. Plummer.
Okay, Ms. Kravitz votes for Plummer. Nikki Hayes, Precinct 59.
Letitia Plummer.
Ms. Hayes votes for Plummer. Arva Howard, Precinct 85.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Howard votes for Turner. Kenneth Yarbrough, Precinct 86.
Amanda Edwards.
Mr. Yarbrough votes votes Edwards. Linda Bell Robinson, Precinct 104.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Bell Robinson votes Turner. Robin Anderson, Precinct 109. They're not present. Judy Kraft, Precinct 113.
Amanda Edwards.
Ms. Kraft votes Edwards. Angel Fuentes, Precinct 117, also not present. Charlene Jones, Precinct 136.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Jones votes Turner. Vita Gamble, Precinct 138.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Gamble votes Turner. Melanie Miles, Precinct 140.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Miles votes for Turner. Barbara Edmonds, Precinct 144.
Not present.
Not present. LaShandra Noel, Precinct 151.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay. Ms. Noel votes Edwards. Joetta Stevenson, Precinct 160.
Amanda Edwards.
Ms. Stevenson votes for Edwards. Javon German, Precinct 161.
Amanda Edwards.
Mr. German votes Edwards. Christine Silhan, Precinct 166.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Silhan votes Edwards. Catherine Dorsey, Precinct 169.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Dorsey votes Turner. Smithia Abraham, Precinct 179.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Abraham votes for Edwards. Elvia Alvarado, precinct 189.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Alvarado votes Edwards. Terrence Shanks, precinct 193.
Amanda Edwards.
Mr. Shanks votes for Edwards. Jocelyn Thomas, precinct 194.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Thomas votes Turner. Marty Page, precinct 195.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Page votes for Edwards. Kathy Bluford Daniels, precinct 201.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Daniels votes Turner. Carolyn Wright, precinct 202.
Sylvester Turner.
Joseph Provost, precinct 205.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Mr. Provost votes for Turner. Alfred Green, precinct 210.
Sylvester Turner.
Mr. Green votes for Turner. Verdo Dawkins, precinct 228.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Dawkins votes for Edwards. Glenda Pouncey, precinct 235.
Sylvester Turner.
Hey, Ms. Pouncey votes for Turner. Alicia Sheila, 252. Okay, Ms. Sheila votes for Turner. Claudette Berry, precinct 253.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Berry votes for Edwards. Deborah Adams, precinct 259.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Adams votes for Turner. Darian Hewitt, precinct 270.
Amanda Edwards.
Gus Martinez, precinct 283. I'm sorry, Mr. Hewitt votes for Edwards. Mr. Hewitt, he votes for Edwards, precinct 270. Gus Martinez, precinct 283.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Martinez votes for Edwards. AJ Vorman, precinct 323.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Vorman votes for Edwards. Mark Flores, precinct 324.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Flores votes for Edwards. Ashley Mosley, precinct 327.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Mosley votes for Edwards. Manny Hernandez, precinct 330.
Christina Morales.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez votes for Morales. Kim Ingram, precinct 363.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Ingram votes Edwards. Amy Vombuckle, precinct 367.
Letitia Plummer.
Okay, Ms. Vombuckle votes Plummer. Marvel LeBeau, precinct 390.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. LeBeau votes Turner. Broderick Butler, precinct 396.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Butler votes Edwards. Barbara Eaglin, Precinct 410.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. England votes Edwards. Ernestine Lloyd, Precinct 412.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Lloyd votes Edwards. Raphael Lemetry, Precinct 448.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Mr. Lemetry votes Turner. Joseph Madden, Precinct 450.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Mr. Madden votes Turner. Alicia Jackson, Precinct 454.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Jackson votes Turner. Shamina Briscoe, Precinct 465. They're not present. Reggie Stewart, Precinct 468.
Letitia Plummer.
Mr. Stewart votes Plummer. Matthew Prudhomme, Precinct 501.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Prudhomme votes Edwards. Melanie Jackson, Precinct 516.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Jackson votes Edwards. LaTanya Whittington, Precinct 550.
Jarvis Johnson.
Okay, Ms. Whittington votes Johnson. Charles Ingram, Precinct 576.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Ingram votes Edwards. Bill Pesota, Precinct 578.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Pesota votes Edwards. Vivian McKelvey, Precinct 582.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. McKelvey votes for Turner. Huey German, Precinct 583.
Huey German votes Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. German votes Edwards. Frederick Woods, Precinct 584.
Fred Woods votes Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Mr. Woods votes for Edwards. Alan Carter, Precinct 587.
Amanda Edwards.
Mr. Carter votes for Edwards. Danielle Burrell,
Sylvester
Precinct
Turner.
593.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Burrell votes for Turner. Terry Preston, Precinct 594. Okay, Mr. Preston votes for Turner. Jancy Lewis, Precinct 611.
Not present.
Okay, they're not present. Lloyd Gutierrez, Precinct 660.
Jarvis Johnson.
Okay, Mr. Gutierrez votes Johnson. Darrell Wright, Precinct 663.
Darrell Rice, Sylvester Turner.
He's not here? Oh, what was it?
Sylvester Turner.
Okay. Mr. Wright votes for Turner. Janice Weaver, Precinct 698.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Weaver votes for Turner. Mo Jenkins, Precinct 723.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Jenkins votes for Turner. Pamela Berry, Precinct 736.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Berry votes for Turner. LaGloria Cephas, Precinct 769.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Cephas votes for Edwards. Sylvia Petrie, Precinct 861.
Amanda Edwards.
Okay, Ms. Petrie votes for Edwards. Catherine Mize, Precinct 890.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Mize votes for Turner. Raymond Page, Precinct 930. Okay, Mr. Page votes Turner. Ivy Mahorn, they're not present. Precinct 942. Monique Jackson, Precinct 960.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Jackson votes Turner. Sylvia Huerta, Precinct 961.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Huerta first votes for Turner. Julia Williams, Precinct 968.
Sylvester Turner.
Ms. Williams votes for Turner. Evans Ingram, Precinct 1060.
Sylvester Turner.
Okay, Ms. Ingram votes for Turner. I decided not to vote, to abstain from voting. I abstain from voting. I abstain from voting. I decided not to vote. That's all the names.
Is there any additional votes among the precinct chairs? Did we miss anyone? Is there anyone who has not voted? There being no additional Congressional District 18 precinct chairs present to vote or who wish to vote, the vote is now closed. We're going to take just a 10-minute recess. You might want to get up and kind of stand around and stretch while the vote counters verify the votes.
I got a question. Since Brian did not sign back up, he won't be sworn back in until September. He didn't re-up to get sworn in when we did it in May. Remember we did it all in May? He didn't sign back up. Yeah. All right. I talked to him a couple of days ago or a week ago. I don't know. I talked to him. But he didn't re-up. Okay. I was making But he said he was. He's here. I was making sure. Oh, okay.
first one, because we started with 2 and then hit cuff at 3. Did anyone from 0001? They didn't even call not here or anything like that. That's them? Oh, that.
Thank you. How are you doing? Good. Thank you. I love to see all this SD13 leadership, even though it's CD18. We will always be SD13.
parliamentarian. The person who is the secretary, she really needs to make the announcement that she's not a precinct chair. She had no right to say. She was out of order saying, I abstain. You don't abstain any more than Mike Doyle abstains. You don't have a vote to give. So she's giving the impression that she's being neutral. She needs to make the point of order that she is not a precinct chair, therefore has no vote for which to abstain. Can we count on that? Thank you.
What's up, Dr. Jones? How are you?
Yeah, but you're going to stand next to him and do that.
Hello, we're back. I have someone's very nice eyeglasses. No, I'm gonna sit them right here. I'm gonna sit them right there. I have someone's very, very nice eyeglasses. And we are ready to start. Oh. We are ready to start back. If you will take your seats. Hello? We'd like to get started. I got backup. Please take your seats so we can finish out the vote.
Oh, I know. I need to go back. Sorry. Here we go. We're on. Yes. Okay. All of the votes. Here you go. You announced page 12.
I need all of the votes.
We don't have them all yet. Call a meeting back to order.
Where is that at? 10.
Page 12 at the top.
The meeting of the 18th Congressional District Executive Committee is now called back to order. The results of the voting. Mr. Slater, no votes. Letitia Plummer, 5 votes. Jarvis Johnson, 2 votes. Christina Morales, 3 votes. Amanda Edwards, 34 votes. Sylvester Turner, 35 votes. We will now move into a runoff between Mr. Turner and Ms. Edwards. Are there any challenges to the vote from the precinct chairs? Are there any challenges to the vote by the precinct chairs? Are there any challenges? I'm sorry? All of them? All 80 of them? Oh, I need to clarify something. Let me stop right here. Let me stop right here. Courtney Richards is not a precinct chair. She is a precinct captain, and she said that she abstained from voting, but she should not have said that. She just should have kept it moving. But she was told not to vote, and she just said, I abstain. But she is a precinct captain and not a precinct chair. To clarify that. Three, 2, and 5. Hold on just a second. 5, 2, 3. 8, 9, 10. So the total number of votes casted was 79, and it would have taken 40 votes for a majority. So we will move into a runoff. And hearing no challenges, we declare the results just announced as the official results of the first race, the primary race. So no candidate having received a majority of votes in this election pursuant to Article 6, Section B of the Rules of the Texas Democratic Party, there must be an immediate runoff between the candidates who received the highest and second highest number of votes, conducted pursuant to the procedures described in Texas Education Code, Section Election Code 2.023. Thus, we will now proceed with the runoff between Sylvester Turner and Amanda Edwards. After consultation with the Harris County Democratic Party officials who have been involved in planning this executive committee meeting, I have determined that the candidate in this runoff election should be permitted to address the members of the executive committee personally for 1 additional minute in order of the number of votes they received in the first vote, with the candidate who received the greatest number of votes going first, and both remaining nominees have been given an opportunity to address the group in this manner. So our first candidate to come and speak for 1 minute, I'm sorry, we need a motion.
Madam Chair, Sheila, Precinct 0252. I move that the recommendation of the chair be adopted and each candidate in the runoff election be permitted to address the members of the executive committee personally for 1
candidate who received the greatest number of votes going first, and that after both or all remaining nominees have been given an opportunity to address the group in this manner, we proceed immediately to a vote.
Is there a second?
Madam Chair, Terrence Shanks, 0193, I second that motion.
It has been moved and second that we proceed. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all are in favor of us moving forward. Oh, I need a voice vote. I'm sorry. Sounds like we carry. The chair now recognizes Sylvester Turner for 1 minute.
Thank you so very, very much, and let me thank you for your support, and I'm continuing to ask for your support. The education is important. The hostile takeover by the state on HISD and other schools, we need to fight that. I stand against that. Health care is important. I'll receive the best health care you can find, but there are thousands of people in the 18th who need quality health care. Infrastructure is real. Climate change deniers are all over the state of Texas, but climate change is real. Infrastructure is important. Housing is important because there are many people who need affordable housing, seniors who need their homes repaired, and there are homeless people who need all of the care that they can get. And economic revitalization. There are communities within the 18th who have been ignored for decades, and we need to draw down all of those federal dollars that are possible to bring them here. I think that I'm the best person for that, and I'm asking for your support. Thank you so very much.
The chair now recognizes Amanda Edwards.
Seven years ago, something called Harvey hit our community. 51 inches of rainfall, I don't have to tell you about because you lived it. But what was born from that experience for me was a commitment to make sure that we have systems that work for all of you. So when I think about disaster recovery, no longer should we just continue to perpetuate the same old, we have to reinvent it so that by the time you have policy and resources, it's when you need it. We need someone who's going to have bold ideas and build upon the strength of the Congresswoman's office and legacy, but move us forward. We just saw our very own president, President Joe Biden, step aside and make room for Vice President Kamala Harris to emerge as our new presidential nominee. Let us make this moment that we're standing here count and deal with the challenges we face today regarding healthcare access, economic opportunity, housing, infrastructure, and disaster recovery, but also make it count for yourself and your community today and tomorrow. This is about you and no one else in this race except for you and you getting the results that you deserve.
Thank you. Thank you both. We now proceed to voting on the runoff nominees. I have determined that with only 2 candidates remaining to be voted on, that this runoff vote can be conducted most efficiently by a standing division of the House. Therefore, pursuant to Article 6, Section B of the Rules of the Texas Democratic Party, I have selected standing division of the House as the method of voting in this runoff election. I have appointed Anna Luke, Ken McGee, Elena Delero as vote counters for this standing division of the House vote. Each of the 2 remaining candidates may send 1 person into the executive committee area to observe the counting of their votes. In a moment, I'm going to ask the precinct chairs to reseat as follows. All chairs, precinct chairs, wishing to vote for Sylvester Turner to come to this side of the room. And take a seat. Wait, Lisa, wait, Elisa, wait. And all precinct chairs voting for Amanda Edwards to come to this side of the room. The chair recognizes Roderick Butler. They're going to sit. If for some reason one side or the other runs out of chairs, please, those people without a seat, please step forward and stand here, over here. The chair recognizes Ms. Gage. What purpose are you needing the microphone? So noted. So very noted. Okay. So we had a notification by a precinct chair saying that she did not appreciate being approached and intimidated by someone coming to her. Let's not do that. Again, let's do this in good and decent order. We're going to get a candidate in just a few minutes. And let's do this the way we're supposed to do it. Okay. So all of Amanda Edwards' people, I got mixed up, over here. If you are an Amanda Edwards voter, stay where you are. If you are a Sylvester Turner voter, please stand. If you are an Amanda Edwards voter, Sylvester Turner people, stay here on this side. If you're an Amanda Edwards voter, come to this side. Y'all just swap chairs. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing is swapping chairs. And y'all sit down like y'all got the lottery winnings. She wants to abstain. Then you need to stand over here because it won't count. You can just stand over here in the corner. Just stand out, LaTanya, just stand, okay, if you're not gonna vote one of them, just stand over here.
Can I ask a favor on behalf of the people?
So the purpose of this vote, precinct chairs, is for you to sit tight like a family with no chairs in between you, because we know exactly how many chairs is in each session, and it will definitely help the count. Don't have a chair in between you. Please move tight. This is Amanda Edwards' section. This is Sylvester Turner's section. Amanda Edwards is over here to my left, and Sylvester Turner is over here to my right. Please do not have a chair vacant between you and the next person. Those of you standing in this aisle, are you precinct chairs? Tony. Who is this? Are you a precinct chair? We can have one observer from each camp, one from Amanda's camp and one from Sylvester Turner. Come up, come right here. Who's observing for Amanda? Who is that? Sit down. Come right here. Everybody, I need the aisles cleared around the precinct chairs. I don't want anybody being misconceived that they are voting. Clear the aisles around the chairs. What are y'all doing? No, she is. Ruth is. Okay. We got it. She's abstaining, and we know she's. Wait. Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Tony, we're good? Okay. We strategically set these chairs to numbers for this very moment. Amanda Edwards has, your name? Derek Mitchell to observe for her. Catherine Fisher is observing for Mr. Turner. Our vote counters are here. Elena Delero, Anna Luke, and Ken McGee. Everybody good? We're about to go home in a minute, and we're going to have a candidate. Did somebody bring some champagne? Uh-oh. I forgot we're at the church. Sir? Oh, in that case, did y'all bring some beer? Wine, red wine. Okay, they're counting. I gave it to Elena. I gave it to Elena Delero right here.
you'll turn it into her.
Is everybody in agreement?
Couple of housekeeping rules while we're waiting. If you have some trash or soda cans or water bottles, as you're leaving, would you please put them in the trash receptacle? The church was nice enough to let us come. And also, I'll take this moment of privilege to thank everyone who came out tonight. I'd like to thank all the volunteers who came in to volunteer, those who came last night to help us do a Runoff show last night. And you know, I got to thank my sorority sisters. They came out in mass. I just want to thank everybody because this could not have been if you had not come. And to the precinct chairs, thank you. Thank you for doing this in good and decent order. Huh?
Good numbers. You're ready.
Y'all ready? Drum roll. Somebody said it. Somebody said it. In the runoff election, Amanda Edwards, 37. Sylvester Turner, 41. Okay. I need you to come back to order. There are a couple of more things that we need to do. Huh? Yeah. I need you to come back to order. Please come back to order. Okay, if you can hear my voice, clap your hands like you're in the kindergarten. Sylvester Turner, order please. We're at the end of the rope. Sylvester Turner, having received a majority of the votes of the precinct chairs in attendance in this meeting, I hereby declare Sylvester Turner to be the nominee of the Democratic Party for the position of United States Representative. I now call Mike Doyle, Chairman of the Harris County Democratic Party, to the mic.
Good evening, y'all. Democrats, we've just got a little bit of things to go, but let me start with one thing. And I'm going to be brief. We've got 84 days to show this is Harris County. And we now have a great candidate for CD18, but it's our job every step of the way to elect every Democrat up and down the ballot, whether it's Colin Edwards, whether it's the president, every position. This is our job, and we must not forget that. And before I turn over the microphone for brief remarks from your nominee, you'll hear a lot of folks to thank. There's one person who I've seen labor for weeks to make this process do what it needs to do to ensure we have a Democrat, Dr. Linda Bell Robinson.
We cannot let State Representative Symphonia Thompson walk out of here. That is my state representative. She's trying to get out of here, but this is my state representative. Give us about 5 more minutes and then we're going to dismiss. Okay.
Good evening. I just want to thank the precinct chairs for all of your hard work and all of the things that you have done to make this evening possible. Thank you very much.
You want to say anything?
Sylvester Turner.
Mr. Turner, we need you to come forward and accept the nomination.
Candace Curl, make your way to the podium. Candace Curl, make your way to the podium.
To the chair of the Harris County Democratic Party, Madam Chair of the 18th Congressional District, let me start off by thanking every single candidate that ran for the 18th. Let me give special acknowledgement to Amanda Edwards. Give it up to Amanda Edwards. Give it up to State Representative Christina Morales, State Representative Jarvis Johnson. Give it up to Mr. Slater. Give it up to State Representative Jarvis Johnson. The Council Member Letitia Plummer. And to all of the others who started out on this 3 weeks campaign trail. And so let me just say to you, I've simply been encouraged and inspired by the number of people that ran, their energy, their ideas, and I look forward to inviting them to the table to work together to make this the best district one can imagine. And then let me especially thank each and every one of the precinct judges. I know this was a tough race. I know this was a tough decision, but I want to thank each and every one of you. Whether you voted for me or not is irrelevant. The fact is, we are a part of the democratic process, and we believe in democracy, and we stand together. And so I'm not going to give a long speech, but let me just say, we've got some work to do between now and November. Let's make sure that we turn Texas blue. And it's my hope that the 18th Congressional District will lead the way. Lastly, let me just pay special tribute to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. I want to thank Jason Lee, Erica Lee, and Elwin Lee. And quite frankly, I look forward to standing with Erica Lee as she serves to fill out her mother's term. So again, everything that I said, the promises that I made, I look forward to working with everybody, every community, every nationality, regardless where you come from or your social economic status, to move the 18th district forward. Thank you all so very, very much. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Councilmember Shabazz.
You and Linda. Oh, the three of y'all. Jerry, would you switch, take one with us? You did a fantastic job.
Do you want to do
Did you have fun? Done. Right.
I don't know if we're going to be able to call it. Is there any business stuff we need to do? Okay, Linda, you may want to just adjourn your meeting. You're welcome to do that. If you want, we need to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Mr. Preston. Do I have a second? The meeting has been moved and second, and the meeting is adjourned. That's my mentee.
Great job. Great job. I don't even know what the hell these things are. Did anybody lose these coolers or whatever they are? They're up here. Well, I've got so we're
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad to see you out here.
Good seeing you here too. Well done. You know, like I said, I'm gonna let you judge. I'm something that invited me to the America. In the order past. You proved that. mic. You got a quick second? Did a good job. You did the best job. Love you. You handled it. All right, ready? Oh. 1, 2, 3. Let me do another. Oh. Take a few. Yeah.
All precinct chairs, if you would come to the front of the room, we're going to take a group picture together.
With Sylvester. Who wants to group picture with y'all? Go on, girl.
All precinct chairs, the nominee would like to take a picture with you in the front of the room if you're still here. Come on, precinct chairs. Huh? Oh, no.
Y'all did a good job. Hello. I'm prepared. Y'all did. So when Turner finishes, they kept everybody in line. Cause we gonna hold it. Everybody wants to take pictures. Y'all did it low.